Hallownest's royal waterways are full of creatures called Flukes. Most are infected and therefore hostile, with one notable exception, an NPC known as Fluke Hermit. She seems to be the only fluke with any kind of sentience, and she is able to speak and think to some degree. So who exactly is she, and why is she different from all the other flukes? First, let's look at the flukes themselves. As for which real-life creature they're most likely inspired by, I'd say leeches, possibly also earthworms given their pink color and segmented bodies. Real-world leeches tend to live in the most polluted waters and actually serve as an environmental indicator of water pollution. In Hollow Knight, it makes sense that these leech-inspired creatures would inhabit the royal waterways once the City of Tears' sewer. Flukes come in multiple forms. Smallest to largest are the larvae, fluke phase, flukemons, flukemungas, and the flukemar. These various flukes could be seen as the various life stages of a fluke. Larvae would most likely come first, and since the flukemarm is able to spawn fluke phase from within her body, it's possible that the fluke larvae grow inside her to become those fluke phase. Other fluke phase may grow directly from the larvae around the tunnels. The form that Fluke Hermit most resembles is a flukemon. The Flukemunga's entry in the Hunter's Journal reveals that Flukemungas become as big and fat as they do from consuming waste from the waterways. Since the waterways seem to have been washed clean of waste by the time the game takes place, there may not be enough to go around to make more flukes grow into Flukemungas, unless they somehow infiltrate the Dung Defender's lair. Elena the Chronicler's observations from the Hollow Knight Wanderer's Journal suggest that flukes are hive creatures and that the flukemarm is their queen, the rest serving her as drones. Now we get to Fluke Hermit and the fact that she isn't infected. I initially speculated as to how and why she isn't infected in my video where I did the same for all Hollow Knight NPCs. My theory is that Fluke Hermit isn't infected mainly because she doesn't have any wants or dreams for the Radiants to take hold of, being content with collecting items from the junk pit and watching over fluke larvae as they grow. She also isolates herself from all the infected flukes. As for why she is sapient, it could be because she is the eldest of all flukes, the firstborn of the flukemar. This could explain why she questions if she has become the mother when Flukemarm has been killed. Alternatively, all flukes, or at least flukemons, may have her level of intelligence when not infected. Fluke Hermit's dialogue and Dreamnail dialogue hint that she isolates herself because the rest of the waterways are noisy with all the infected flukes, and she avoids her mother, Flukemarm, because of her angry glow, her observation of the infection. She refers to fluke larvae as her little sisters. She's also able to tell if the knight has the Fluke Nest charm equipped and seems excited at its ability to spawn many flukes as her mother did. It's interesting that she refers to the larvae as sisters, possibly suggesting that all flukes are female. Assuming they all come from the flukemarm, including the material that the larvae grow from, this could make sense as she seems to reproduce asexually. Other features of Fluke Hermit include the cloth she wears over her body, as well as the tent and several items from the junk pit which she keeps in her room. She refers to the junk pit items as her treasure, and believes it to be sent by her mother and that she is tasked with gathering it up. Since flukes don't have any visible eyes, it's unknown if she can see or not. She does become aware of the Godseeker being freed from her cocoon, and she seems frightened, wondering whether the Godseeker can see or smell her and wanting the Godseeker to go away. Fluke Hermit may have this hostile reaction to the Godseeker and not the knight because she can tell that the Godseeker is not from Hallownest. Some Hollow Knight fans have questioned why Fluke Hermit was added to the game because they don't see her as contributing anything to the overall lore or to that of the Godmaster expansion specifically. However, I'd argue that she does have lore significance, and even if she didn't, that isn't a prerequisite for any item or character being included in Hollow Knight. I see Fluke Hermit as being interesting in her own way. At the very least, she provides a look into what all flukes might be like if they were sentient and/or uninfected, and I'd say that's worth something. What do you think of Fluke Hermit? Do you agree with my speculations about her or about the flukes in general? Is there anything you'd want to add? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Check out the rest of my Hollow Knight lore videos, and the rest of my channel beyond that if you like. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.